Hi, my name is Megan Flanagan. I am a coach at FromWithin Coaching. And on today's Coaching Corner, I'm so excited to have Augusta Good. She is also one of the coaches at FromWithin Coaching. Today, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. So, Augusta, why don't you introduce yourself, tell people a little bit about you, who you like to
Sure.
coach, and anything else you want to share?
Sure. Well, thank you, Meg, for having me here this morning. I'm Augusta Good. I am a leadership development coach at From Within Coaching. I focus on women, and I also coach women over 50. And so there's two separate things, but not really, because a lot of my leaders are in my women over 50 group. Um, and I love this topic because imposter syndrome comes up a lot when we're talking about leadership development or self leadership development, which is what I focus on first. And um, it's been researched, it's been written about. It is a physiological phenomenon, and where we have these beliefs that we are not good enough or inadequate, not prepared. I think everybody who's watching this has felt imposter syndrome. Most people do. And so when I coach uh, my developing leaders or my women over 50 around this, we talk about it's a physiological phenomenon. That means it's in our body. It lives in our
Mhm.
body. So I'm also a somatic coach. I have somatic coaching certifications. So what we do is, or my approach is that I use a process called that I'm certified in called the soul intention process. And we help to identify uh, feelings within our body, sensations of how we best want to be in this world.
Mhm.
And then when we work with imposter syndrome, we identify not what is going through your head when you're going through imposter syndrome, but where are you feeling that? So, say somebody's feeling not good enough, or worried, or feeling like a phony. How does that feel in your body? Because it's our sensations that actually drive our thoughts. And so many of us are trying to fix imposter syndrome by thinking it away.
Right, or they
Um,
think they're gonna read a book and it's gonna go away,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
the few conversations I've had with people, one of the things I love to and even talk to clients, it never goes away, you just learn
Right.
to
To navigate it.
manage it or navigate
Yeah.
it, and I love
And
that we talk about the somatic side of it.
yeah, and that's the thing is we get, I call it, we get, a sensation comes up and they're subconscious. A lot of imposter syndrome comes from subconscious patterning. And we get Velcroed to a reaction to it, which could be the thought of, oh my God, I'm not good enough, or I'm not prepared. And so what we do with working with the soul intention process and imposter syndrome is we kind of learn how to unvelcro from that reaction, and then come from a place of empowerment. And that's part of the process that, I could have another whole discussion on.
That's
But
what I
when
say to everybody, I'm like, "We could go so deep in all these conversations."
I know, but we identify a sensation of that empowerment in this process. And so it's coming from that place and replacing it, almost that sensation based. And that does change a thought and change an outcome. And it allows people to show up differently. And that's the whole thing, right? For imposter syndrome is being able
Mhm.
to show up with confidence and not let that imposter syndrome uh, block us from doing something or stop us.
Mm,
Because don't you agree, Meg? I mean, if you're
yeah,
somebody who is out in front of a lot of people all the time, and it can completely stop you from
yeah.
putting yourself
Well,
out there.
yeah, and even, some of the female entrepreneurs I work with that are, not so much well, there's some of them are influencers, and,
Mhm.
they're always looking they're checking their competition, but they're also looking at everybody else out there, and I think in even corporate, we're always looking at the person next to us or the position we're going for, and
Exactly.
some people, may charge through and be like, "I know I can do this. I'm qualified," and then they get the job, and all of a sudden they're like, "What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Why did
Yeah.
I just get hired? Why are they paying me this much money?" And
I'm an
it's like they
imposter.
have this visceral reaction to your point of looking at the
Yeah.
physiology of it.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
lives, these patterns live in our bodies as sensations. And
Mhm.
so really I work with clients on becoming aware of that And then you're right, imposter syndrome isn't always going to go away, but it's how we can change how we move through it. And
Yeah.
that's what I like to say. It doesn't stop us. We are then able to move through it and show up powerfully.
Mhm. And I also feel like, as with anything in life, it's if somebody gives me a tool to work with or just, oh, it's such a relief. I'm like, okay, I'm not stuck with this. Like, give
Yeah,
me, like, I know I can drive from here to California, but if you told me the best way to go and the greatest stops along the way to really have the best journey, that's what I look for coaches for. I'm like, give me
exactly.
the best journey, like, help me navigate the best journey. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's, that is a huge part of my coaching is, it's up to the client
Hmm.
to go through the work. And it does take some work, obviously, to
Yeah.
change and become aware of and intentionally work with the sensations in our body.
Mhm.
But it's super powerful and it it we just can't think this stuff away.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. You can't think it away. I think imposter syndrome more and more, it's not like it's been a buzzword for us to talk about
Yeah.
for a few years, like 5 years or so, but, it's really coming into the mainstream
Oh
population.
yeah.
They're starting to talk about it.
Research.
Athletes have talked about it for years and years and years. Olympic
Sure.
professional athletes all have mindset coaches that all coach on imposter syndrome
Yeah.
and helping them work through and visualize and go through all they've had
Yeah.
that secret in their back pocket for years.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
agree. Being an athlete growing up, it can stop. I mean, you think about it in a performance, it can be any performance, whether
it
you're
is
showing
the
up
difference.
as a leader, and getting out in front of people or putting your ideas out even, or, looking at a triathlon.
Mhm.
So it really can change when we work with this. It can change how we show up and how we can most powerfully be ourselves. And when we show up in that way, as the most empowered and embodied version of ourselves, we affect others very powerfully.
It's huge,
Yeah,
yes. The ripple effect is real.
it is absolutely.
So I love that we are talking about imposter syndrome. I love that you shared a little bit about yourself. If anybody out there is watching today and they'd like to schedule a discovery call or free consult call with Augusta, we're going to drop the From Within Coaching information and her information below in the notes here, so you can feel
Great.
free to reach out to Augusta and meet with her. But I love that we're talking about this subject matter and
Yeah,
we're
me
able to
too.
coach women and everybody, leaders for you,
Yeah,
and help them navigate through this.
yeah, because it's everybody has it, so it's a big part of my coaching, for sure.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me today,
Thank you, Meg.
and we will talk soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely.